name's Corinne Kendall, and this is Pogo, and we want to thank you for joining us today on our next episode of Pet Detectives. So in today's experiment, we are going to be looking at feeding. So we're going to try out some different tools for feeding Pogo. And for this experiment, you just need a stopwatch, so you want to be able to time how long it takes your dog to eat, trying out a few different strategies. And basically the goal of the experiment, and in terms of improving animal welfare or our dog's well-being, would be to increase the amount of time that he spends foraging, make it interesting for him so that it's not just eat and be done really quickly. And this is something that we do at the zoo as well. We want our animals to spend a similar amount of time foraging in their habitats at the zoo as they do in the wild. So we do things like spreading their food out, doing scatter feeds, feeding them at different times of day, and even using puzzle feeders with some of our animals to increase the amount of time that they spend looking for and then actually eating. So we're going to try those same techniques today at home with our dog, and this is something that you can do at your homes as well. And we'll just be timing the different experiments to see what takes the longest. So we'll see how Pogo does with some different feeding opportunities. Alright, well, any good experiment needs a baseline or a control. So we're going to start with 1 scoop just in his regular bowl. Got to get our timer ready. Okay. He's not quite finished. Good boy. Alright, and he's all done. So we stopped our timer. That was 1 minute and 39 seconds for the regular bowl. Alright, so a really easy way to add some challenge for your pet is just a scatter feed. And this is something we do at the zoo, so I'm just going to scatter the food all over the place, and then we'll see how long it takes Pogo to get it. Wait. So I've got to get timer ready. And okay. So now we'll see how long it takes for him to eat the scatter feed. And that's the last kibble. Wow, the scatter feed took a really long time. Alright, for the third experiment, we're going to try with a puzzle feeder. This is a puzzle feeder. It theoretically is designed to slow down your dog's eating, so we'll see how it actually does in practice compared to our regular bowl. Pogo, sit. Good boy. Alright, so we've got our timer ready. We're at the food in the puzzle feeder. Okay, and we start our timer. use the puzzle feeder, so it was really quite effective. That was 4 minutes and 42 seconds just about. Alright, well that concludes our experiment. So what did we find? We found that it took about 1 minute and 39 seconds with the regular bowl. It took about 4 minutes and 42 seconds with the puzzle feeder. But actually, the best technique for getting Pogo to spend the most time foraging was the scatter feed, where he spent about 5 minutes and 53 seconds eating the same amount of food. So that's a really interesting finding, and it's very similar to what we found at the zoo. We use scatter feeds as a technique to increase the amount of time that animals spend foraging. So that's something that we do for our elephants, for our gorillas, and it gives them an opportunity to really search for their food and to spend more of their day actively looking and eating, so it spreads out the amount of time, just like what we saw with Pogo. So this is a great experiment that you can try at home, and I just want to thank you for joining us on Pet Detectives.